Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to do something a bit different. So I'm going to talk about a certain application that is very popular today, and then I'm going to explain how the application's interface would have looked like back in the 1980s and 1990s, given the available technologies back then. So basically, the application I'm going to do is Robinhood. So what Robinhood is that it's a financial services company that offers both a web application and mobile app for users who want to trade stocks. So in their web application here, I'm going to head over to Robinhood. So in this web application here, the user can browse through a variety of stocks they have in mind in this search area, and they can easily purchase a share in this panel here. They also have a mobile app that has a similar interface and it's also interactive such that the user can hover his or her mouse to this graph area and is able to show how the price of a stock changes. And this is all possible with the technologies we have available. Just by uh, hovering this tooltip or hovering this section here, this tooltip appears. And that's probably created by some CSS elements and JavaScript. And also the fact that these news articles can populate automatically here in this section, and the fact that the picture you see here is also shown in this link I just clicked. So if I click on this link, this same picture is actually shown in both the this article here and also in this website, uh, which makes me believe that the site uses something called the chorus mechanism. And if you people don't know, I made a separate video on the chorus mechanism a while back. If you're interested in it, feel free to go check it out. But having said that, I just introduced you all to the kind of technologies that are possible in today's world. Um, Now, how would that change if it was in the 1980s? One moment. Okay. So back in the 1980s, most desktop computers include a line editor, and anything you want to do with your desktop is usually operating by the keyboard or joystick that you get to control. So looking at this picture here, I actually created a basic text-based program in Python. So I can illustrate to you all how a basic application would run in the 1980s. So here we have Robinhood, and from there it will show you a bunch of stock prices, and the application here would prompt the user to select a stock to buy. Now, as all of this is happening, the user is controlling everything with his or her keyboard because desktop computers were uh, largely like that back then. Such that everything is like controlled by the keyboard. Um, so as we get to the final step here, which is the transaction process, a user would probably have to wait a while for that transaction to be completed because things like broadband internet didn't exist back then. But um, but yeah, that's basically how the application would look like back then in terms of the user interface. But now moving on to the 1990s. Okay, so we finally have here a web page with some designs and a limited amount of interactivity. Now, HTML has already been developed back then, and CSS was able to follow right after. And with HTML, you can create some basic things in a web page like hyperlinks and some buttons here. Although I'm not really sure if this graph here could have been created with just HTML alone. Another thing to note is that the user would probably have to reload the page every time whenever he or she wants something to update. Um, yeah, and that's usually because web pages back then were static. So meaning, like it couldn't be able to populate results automatically as some web pages are able to do in today's time. And you can obviously do this today with JavaScript and with some techniques involving Ajax or jQuery, but those technologies aren't fully developed yet. But yeah, this basically concludes this fun little video I like to do, and I'll see you all next time on another video. Thanks.